What is up, party people? Welcome to the party. Ah, shit, this ain't the Mario Party video. Which 3D Mario game is the best? Which is the worst? Which is the first? And which is the 3D Land? I'm not restricted like I was with the last ranking Mario video because, truth be told, I played every single one of these games. And also, I wasn't including the new Soup series because, let's be real, yeah, bang. Also, 3D Mario is just a lot more interesting and varied. Like, last time, shit just kept getting better. This time, it isn't. This time, it's getting worse. It's getting quite varied. This time, it's the third fucking dimension. Alright, I'll start now. Oh! I just talked about this game. Mario 64 is one of the most important games to ever grace the world. There will never be a game as important and revolutionary as this game is. Thanks for watching. Mario 64 is a game that's hard to discuss because it's a game that I'm so unfamiliarly familiar with. I love 64 with a burning passion. What it did to revolutionize gaming on top of being still a blast to play nowadays is just something games don't do anymore. The controls feel great to this day. Mario's super responsive. Pulling off sick moves is so damn satisfying, and it's like stringing moves together. Oh my god, I hit my mic. It's probably going to feedback. However, there's one issue with the controls that I will never get out of my head, and it actually still like pisses me off that every other Mario game doesn't have this, and this one does. And I don't care what people say. Like, I can't wrap my head over it, and I hate it. Every sharp turn Mario has, he has to move in a half circle into the position, and it's really annoying. Yeah. Oh, there's the fucking burp. Basically, if you watch this video, you know exactly what I'm gonna say because I don't really think a lot has changed in the past 2 weeks. Oh, what the fuck? My Dreamcast is yellowing. Sunshine's a mixed bag for me. I never really played it for long periods at a time, but whenever someone talks about it, it's either, oh my god, best game ever, glory to the Super Mario Sunshine, or what the f did I just play? But I finally touched it for over 5 minutes for the first time, and it's aight. It's a little overrated, a little overhated, and I don't give a fuck. First off, the elephant in the room. The controls. Now, I said something very controversial, how this is the only Mario game after 64 to not really improve the controls. I never said they were worse. 64 had a lot of weight to Mario, which made him feel a lot more natural, while Sunshine has this featherweight Mario that isn't terrible to control, far from it, but it can make platforming a struggle, especially for new players. They fixed the half circle thing though, so you know what, they did improve the controls. Sunshine's just kind of very jank too. It's not as polished as those other Mario games, which you can definitely tell when you play it. You might not be able to see it, but Mario can feel it. But you know what? I will defend this game, because truth be told, jank aside, this game's aight. It's probably gonna be the lowest on this tier list, but honestly, I genuinely kind of like this game. It's something I thought my foot to play over and over again, but I would definitely pick it up again if I needed to, or actually get the urge to replay it. Just compared to everything else, I think it's a case where I just don't like it as much as the rest. The rest of the games have better controls, better design. The one thing this game has over anything on this list is that motherfucking hub world. Delfino Plaza is a joy to explore, and I felt like half of my playthrough was me trying to find trinkets and doodads in the plaza. I love the little detail of seeing every location in other locations as well. This game really was a few loading screens away from being completely open world. I love this game, I really do, but the design isn't as refined or as good as the other entries, and it's probably gonna be at the bottom for a while.
Subscribe to bigsleeter today.
Yes, the second most important game of all time. Maybe even the third. It's kind of weird how this game doesn't really get the recognition for how it changed portable gaming. No game used the DS's hardware as well as 64DS did. It was insane seeing a 3D game on the go. Once again, 64DS is a very controversial game. People will argue whether it's the best version of 64 or the worst. I think it's the borscht. I made that word up 5 seconds ago. DS mixes the game up a little bit in order to keep it fresh. Peach's Castle has been expanded to make room for new stars, and bosses like King Babam were changed to better accommodate Yoshi's moveset. Speaking of Yoshi, you can play as Yoshi starting out. I mean, you actually, no, you can't. It's not that you can, you have to. And then you have to save Mario, Wario, Luigi, and then it's just kind of useless playing as Wario and Luigi. 64DS seems like the definitive version of 64. New characters, new levels, how's the controls? Well, for starters, who the fuck thought it was a good idea putting a D-pad only on the fucking DS? The controls are dookie. Instead of 360 directions of the past, we were limited to a whopping 8. Why D-pad? Simple. Big Sleeter, just use the touchscreen to get the full joystick control back. Other than that, it's just kind of alternate reality Mario 64, like Mario 64 Encore mode or something. I think one day they should remake 64 and add this version as like a side thing, but with actually decent controls. I don't know where to put this one though. I'm tempted to put it above Sunshine solely for being 64, but at the same time, I like Sunshine better in a lot of aspects. I'll put it over here for now. Remind me to put it in later. I love Super Mario Galaxy and its sequel. The amount of love I have for this game is unimaginable. It's one of those Mario games I could just beat in one sitting without getting distracted. Maybe I should get tested. Galaxy takes what the other two games did right and crafts something spectacular out of it. It has one of the best Mario stories on top of having such wonderful gameplay. It's like Super Paper Mario on fucking crack. The Comet Observatory is such a wonderful place to explore, even if it's smaller than previous hub worlds. I still think Delfino Plaza is the best hub world in any Mario game to this very day, but goddamn, the Comet Observatory is so lively and memorable. The game's a lot more cinematic than most Mario games too. The opening's still one of the series' best, with Bowser causing havoc and taking Peach's castle to space. I love the addition of Lumas and one of Mario's best characters to this very day, and the ending is so goddamn beautiful with all the Lumas sacrificing themselves to save the galaxy after Bowser causes a supernova by falling into the sun. This is crazy to us. For an unemployed guy with a red cap, it's just another Tuesday afternoon. The controls are the best in any Mario game. It takes the best parts of previous games' controls and just mashes it together to make the perfect controlling Mario. Did I say it's the best controlling Mario? They somehow perfected it in Odyssey, and I don't know how the fuck they did that. My only gripe with this game is that it's compared to the pace of 64 and Sunshine, Galaxy's a little bit slower. It's not painfully slow, but it's definitely slower in pace to its predecessors. And it's also linear. Now, being linear ain't bad. It's wonderfully designed and has some of the most creative levels in the entire franchise. But I would understand someone liking the more open approach to the former entries to this one. Power-ups too! Like 64 had the caps you could wear, but where the fuck is my ice flower? Brother, this is B Mario. The power-ups in this game are kind of forgettable though. Not forgettable because who the fuck could forget B Mario, but I could forget the Spring Mario. I have no idea how the fuck this is useful. There's also the Red Star, probably the worst power-up in Mario history. But here's a Mario game with the best story, best level design, best music, best controls, best ending, best game, and has fucking Luigi. Yeah, this game's a fucking masterpiece. I totally get why 64 is preferred to this game. 64 is a masterpiece in its own little special way. It might be biased, but I just enjoy this game way more. I think it has better design and better controls. 64 just has lower lows than Galaxy, which is why Galaxy's going right above everything and will probably stay there till the end of time. Also, what other 3D Mario game has a sequel? Shut the fuck up. Galaxy 2 is more forgotten than the first. Some people prefer it over the first, some prefer it less. I prefer it less than the first, but they're too similar to even give a shit. Galaxy 1 just does a lot better. I think Galaxy 2 has levels that are wholly more creative, but Galaxy is just higher highs. It has a better story, even if they're the same, but Galaxy 2 retells it in a more comedic way, and I will never forgive them for that. It has Rosalina for more than 5 seconds. The Comet fucking Observatory, Spaceship Mario is a fucking fraud. Other than that, if you like Galaxy, you like 2. They're just too similar to prefer one over the other, but Galaxy has the upper hand for the little things compared to the sequel. Like, I guess Galaxy clears, but really, who the fuck has Cloud Mario? I'm putting Galaxy 2 behind Galaxy because in reality, they're the same game. Make Galaxy 3, you stupid bitch. Super Mario 3D Land is the first 3D Mario game on a handheld. Ring ring, wrong department. I have something to report. To its credit, it's the first original 3D Mario game on a handheld. 3D Land was more of a step in between 2D and 3D Mario. It had a lot more returning features in 2D Mario, but in 3D. And for a handheld Mario game, I think it fit extremely well. 3D Land is far from a bad game. It's very well designed, and the use of 3D to help with platforming is a pretty neat idea in retrospect. It actually made use of a stupid fucking gimmick to appeal to the times. Because I kind of genuinely forget 3D was the big fad in the 2010s. But 3D Land ain't anything crazy. It does really nothing to innovate the franchise. Like, it's not like it's the first 3D handheld Mario. The only thing that's cool is returning to using power-ups, but even Galaxy did that. But Mario turns small, it's like 2D Mario. I mean, it's exactly what it says. It's Super Mario in a 3D land. There's nothing really horrible about it. There's just nothing really good about it. It's a Mario game with good design, good music, and maybe it's a little bland, but it was never really an issue with the game till other Mario games as equally played safe released right after. So how does the story continue? 3D World is fucking awesome. It has Pussy and even Princess Peach Pussy. Now, I think the game itself's a punch in the face, all things considered. Like, this is your 3D Mario on your first HD console. Like, good fucking job. It was so underwhelming hearing that this was the main 3D Mario for the Wii U. and then it was fucking awesome. 3D World had some of, if not the best level design to be ever made, period. The game's levels are so creatively crafted and somehow fit every character played no matter what. Each world has generic grassland, desert, snow approach, but each level's a completely different theme from one another, and World Bowser's still probably one of the best world themes in any Mario game, period. It's so good. Guys, the cat suit. To this day, the cat suit's probably the best suit to ever grace Mario in a very, very long time. Most levels make use of the suit too, with hidden areas and green stars, which are required to progress, by the way. Guys, it's more 3D than you think. And even then, they're fun to collect. The music is so good. 1 minute, it's this nice little Mario melody, and then bam, it's slapped with big band jazz. Every track is jazzy, and sometimes I forget to play the game because I'm having too much fun listening to the music. 3D World is like marshmallows and Lucky Charms, and 3D Land's the normal cereal pieces. Like, 3D Land may have began this type of Mario game, but 3D World ran with it. Other Mario games triumph over it, but it's just a blast to play. Don't play this version though, we'll get to that after. I have never seen people turn on a game so goddamn fast. Odyssey was probably the most hyped Mario game to date. A true return to the open world sandbox Mario since Super Mario Sunshine. A vocal theme to boot, the best controlling Mario, and 999 moons to collect. When this game came out, people lauded it as the best Mario game ever. No, not even the best Mario game ever made. The best game ever made. It was so good that people gaslight themselves into thinking it's bad now. Yeah, people just don't kind of like this one anymore. Me personally, it's a good fucking game. I don't know what you want me to say. Odyssey's an oddity because while the highs could have made this the best game on here, no competition, there's a lot of issues that plague the game in its replayability and overall enjoyment. For the first time since Sunshine, the game is completely open. Each level is a location with a fuck ton of objectives to complete for progression or just for the shits and giggles. There's 999 moons to collect here, like I said earlier, and while that's like, oh my god, there's so much content, a lot of these moons regulate to either ground pound this shiny little hill or break this box, which honestly, it's kind of lame. It just feels like they wanted to go all out with the game's collectibles, but realized it was literally impossible to add 999 moons while keeping it fresh, and while brainstorming, a programmer showed up drunk and started testing the game and started ground pounding the floor. Mr. Miyamoto! But don't fret, Mario completionists who have to complete every Mario game 100%. The game is so baby game easy, so 999 moons can be done with by everyone and everything. I gave my cat a Joy-Con and he did it in a night. And a lot of people complain about the openness of the worlds. Thousand Year Door has too many RPG mechanics. That's why I like Sticker Star more. Nah, jokes aside, I kind of understand the viewpoint. Odyssey has a few locations that are just a little too on the open side. Not saying big open worlds are bad, but when Tostarena, or whatever the fuck the place was called, has too much bare fucking land, I kind of wonder. They could have added a hill with a moon over there. Missed opportunity. A complaint I've always had was the length of the game. It's not the shortest game in the world. I mean, shit, Forces released a week after this, and the game's 3 hours long, including cutscenes. But compared to other Mario games, there's not a lot of content. There's 17 kingdoms to explore in Odyssey, but a couple are just simple boss fights that have no purpose in being there other than being a boss fight. Odyssey just felt like a lot of potential was wasted. But the ideas it does present are so damn good. Mario is a damn treat to control, and mastering Mario's movement is the most satisfying thing I've ever done in my life. There's so many aspects to this game that are some of the best ideas in video game platforming history, and it could make it one of the best games ever made, but the issues that plague it, while nothing truly game ruining, definitely bring this game down compared to its predecessors. I'll give it those damn little secret stages they have. Those are fucking amazing. But like I said, it could have been the best Mario game, but it's brought down in its areas. Definitely above Sunshine and 3D Land, and honestly, I'll put it above 3D World solely because 3D World's unplayable at this point because of the Switch port. Ask me a few months ago, it would have been above 64, but honestly, I have a newfound appreciation for 64. I think Odyssey has higher highs, but lower lows than 64. For a lot of the Switch's life, Nintendo re-released a ton of successful Wii U games, or games that were critically acclaimed but never got to thrive due to the failure of the console. A ton of these games are a second chance to breathe. Mario Kart 8 turned from one of the lowest selling Mario Karts to date to the best selling Mario Kart due to this. But one game that seemed to be missing from this list of the Switch games re-released was Wii Party U, and I guess if people were looking for 3D World, then I guess 3D World was missing too. Granted, there were so many Wii U re-releases on this console to the point people started questioning why there was even a fucking Wii U. But then in September 2020, during Mario's 35th anniversary direct, sorry, I fell asleep. What? Nintendo did it. They announced 3D World Switch port, Super Mario 3D World Plus. Plus what? Bowser's Fury was announced, giving us this dark, gritty world and Cat Mario. And what is Bowser Fury? Is it just a new level pack? No, it's a whole ass 3D Mario game in the 3D World engine. Wait, you think I'm joking? Nah, I would never fucking joke. I am serious as all hell. The port of 3D World itself, the most under-talked about part of this, is one of the best re-releases I think I've ever played. It makes the OG version literally unplayable. You know how I said the OG version was unplayable? It's because this version exists. It adds so much quality of life improvements to the game. It just makes that OG version look like a shriveled up mushroom from Origami King that you have to put in water to make it a regular mushroom so that it becomes an actual mushroom that you can use. The character speed have increased, making the slowest character in 3D World faster than the fastest character in 3D World Wii U. Unlocking Champions Road no longer requires beating the game as every single character. Loading screens are infinitely faster, saving is faster, little UI changes that make it a little less cluttered, and even the controls were tweaked a little bit to make everything feel just better, making it the best way to play this game, absolutely no competition. There was one other way to play this game, but whatever. And for the same price as New Subbue Deluxe, the worst deal ever made, we get an entirely new campaign to play with Bowser's Fury. Now granted, don't get your hopes up on a 12-hour long Mario campaign because this is like half that time and only has 100 shines to nab, but Bowser's Fury is like a tech demo of the Mario game of dreams. A fully open world with every level interconnected. It's what Sunshine should have been if it was released in modern day. Each level is beautifully crafted and no objective feels shoehorned in or filler, which I don't think they really were worried about filler because hey, they're making a damn side campaign in a re-release, so who gives a fuck. Mario controls like he did in 3D World with a lot more direction to go in, and it shows how damn good open world Mario could be. I wouldn't consider it to be the best 3D Mario ever because let's be real, it's too short to really consider it a full-on Mario game, but I fucking love the ideas it presents and would absolutely love a full-on Mario game in this style. That's it. That's the end of the video. We went exploring the Mushroom Kingdom to fighting dragons to going to Mars to New York, and we have looked deep into who is the ultimate Mario 3D action platforming game. Oh shit, I forgot about DX.